Really what I'm doing is looking after the communications for GreaterGood South Africa and Greater Capital, and mainly in the online space, so looking really at our online offering and how we present ourselves to the world. Yes, what we're doing is really bringing the social community, social impact, social investment side of the equation and the corporate, the money side together, and to try and find out what works, what really is going to work in communities. The terminology that companies use, particularly financial institutions use to assess the risks as well as the return is what we are using when we look at social development. So we look at pure philanthropic investment, where social investment, where we're saying you give an investment in an organization, but you would expect a social return. How we look at profiling, what we would call is assessing and doing risk assessments on organizations and social businesses. Yes, there are risks, but what we're trying to understand is what are those risks, trying to mitigate those risks, and then also trying to support organizations that we can demonstrate have a measurable social impact. The perception that a lot of what your donation is going to is supporting admin is a misperception. So what we're trying to look at is as organizations that are well run. And really looking at how much they spend on admin and how much they spend on fundraising is not a very valuable metric. So what we've realized is that well-run organizations that are run professionally and that they pay their staff a decent salary and that have good fundraising and good sustainability strategies, these are successful organizations that make that, and the work that they're doing has an impact and is making change. Some of the work that, in this whole notion of organizations being investment ready is really where we feel we can offer a lot to our corporate clients, but also to the organizations, because the process of the assessment actually helps organizations to think about the things that they're doing. Investors, and by that I mean sort of philanthropic investors, people who want to make want to actually give away money, but don't just want to give into a black hole. They want to give in a way that they know is sustainable, in a way that they know is going to make a difference. They want to know what's happened to that money, and so that's a very important part of the loop, is the reporting and the research. And part of the process that we do is to go back and do a site visit and visit the organizations and also measure against what they said they were going to do. Greater Capital is really the consulting side of GreaterGood and the group. So Greater Capital is a non-profit company, so it runs like a company, but the profits support the charitable work that we do, or the sort of philanthropic side of what we do. And we're very, the Greater Capital side of things is very focused on impact investing. When we're looking at impact investing, what they're looking at is social change. So the cause of a social change. Really what we're after is to help people move from a situation of poverty into a situation of earning an income and enabling them to support their families better. Organizations need to understand that they have to start being more professional, and they have to start thinking of themselves as charities and start running themselves like businesses. And that sounds hard-nosed, but I think that's where you see real success, when people actually start being a bit leaner and meaner and really focusing on delivery and impact, and being less concerned about the process, because I think in the NGO world we're often very interested in the process and not so interested in the results.